Hello, hello. Okay, let me just check on here to make sure everything is going well. Hmm. Okay, can you hear me? Okay, there. No, I'm sure. I have to make sure of myself always. Like, okay, am I live? Okay, everybody. Welcome to my live. I'm trying to do a few more of these to discuss the videos that I put out and just to also promote them. Last time I really liked the response on my video, Affordable Luxury. So thank you all very much. And if you've not watched the video, go watch it. And today we're just here to discuss a little bit for the newest video that I posted on Friday. So I posted a new full length video every Friday. So typically on Tuesdays, I post a short, but on Fridays, I post a full length video on a topic that is related to finance, financial conversation. So this one was beauty is pain and financial destitute and the modern beauty standards, and we're talking about Frankenstein's monster. So hopefully you went to watch it, hopefully you liked it, but if you've not watched it, let me put the link in the chat so when you do have time, you can go watch it. It was actually one of the first videos that when I thought about changing up my video style, I really decided to do because it was a topic I wanted to talk about. I think this topic is very important for the world that we live in. It's always been important if you see how I went into the history because I didn't want to be like, well, it's just a today thing. No, modern beauty standards have been around for a long time, and beauty standards in general. I think since whenever humans had eyes, and been able to judge beauty and compare. Comparisons is the thief of joy. They've had some sort of beauty standards. And there's nothing wrong with having them. It's just what they've morphed into. And just to also discuss that beauty standards of the past were harsh. If you couldn't meet them as well, we may think it's just the modern beauty standard, but this has been happening for a long time. So, if you have any questions, or if you watched the video already, be sure to drop them here, or you can put them under the video description of the comment section of that video. If you've not yet watching, you do go watch in the future. I will still be responding. I typically respond to all the comments that I get. So if you make a comment, I'll probably see it. So yeah, do that, and let's just go in and discuss right now some of the things that I found interesting and hopefully in the future me dig deeper into. So this was a longer video, it's about 50 minutes. Wait till next week's video, it's even slightly longer, but it's all good because when I have a lot of information like this, I just enjoy researching and making sure that I cover a lot of the different aspects of it. And in this video, I did a lot of research. If you look in the description box of the video, you'll see all of my resources because I didn't just get it from the top of my head. I wanted to make sure I'm communicating things that are true and right and statistically accurate. And I would say for me, one of the most interesting facts that I found is not just about how social media is propagating beauty standard, but how no matter what time in history, people have decided to do it whichever way that they can, whether it's just word of mouth or through different ways of communicating and basically whichever way people can communicate their beauty standards to you, they will. So let's see. One of the first things I went into, of course, is the history. Just like I said, it's evolutionary theories and different types of symmetrical face theories. I don't think I spoke about all the beauty theories because the video is not even just about what we consider beautiful. I think having that history is good, but that's not the most important aspect of it. But after I was done, I did think of some other theories. I was like, okay, maybe I should add this one and that one. But again, that's not the main meat of the video, the main point. But are several other beauty theories, and why people find certain people more beautiful that you know are out there. Okay, so then the next section, of course, was the growing access to technology, to social media, which is one of the ways that people spread their beauty standards through social media. And social media is a wonderful thing, and it can be a wonderful thing. I think social media in itself is like amoral, so it's not good, it's not bad. It just depends on what you use it for. And when especially young people being on social media, because anybody under the age of 13 is not supposed to, and some of them are there with the permission of their parents, some of them are there without the permission of their parents. I personally could not imagine being on Instagram so young. I think I got my first Instagram account when I was like 20 years old, maybe 19 at the youngest, but I'm pretty sure I was about, yeah, actually I was 19 and a half years old, now that I think about it, because I posted my 20th um birthday pictures. But that, I couldn't imagine being on there for such a young age, from such a young age, especially when you're going through, your growing pains. Oh my, like I'm that's one thing I'm happy about. Like a lot of my videos and pictures and growing pains, and it's not on the internet. I mean, I was on Snapchat for a little while, and yeah, but I feel like Snapchat was slightly different. I'm pretty sure if I go back, I can see some of the silly stuff I was posting, but it was just a bunch of like, the dog filter and stuff like that. Which, I mean, I was past the age of 30. I didn't get social media till I was about 15, 16. I think I was about, no, actually, funny question. I was like, when did I get social media? But I think I got social media when I was 16 years old, like almost 17, because that was when I finally got a smartphone, senior year of high school. So yeah, that's when I created my first social media account, which was Snapchat. And I remember my friend said, by the time Patience gets on Facebook, nobody will be there. This was when she told me in middle school, because I just wasn't interested in social media, and I had no way of getting to it for that matter. But social media, I believe, is amoral, and you can either use for good, for bad, and unfortunately, there's some people who've chosen to use it for bad. But we also have to have discernment when we're on social media to know what is real, what is not real. And I know sometimes when we see somebody who's like beautiful, we're like, oh, this is AI, this is photoshopped. You know, some people are just beautiful. Like I said in the video, we can't just say that there's not this perfect person that meets the beauty standard in the way the world views it. But that's not the point. The point is that whether somebody naturally looks like that or somebody does not, we also have to have the discernment to know that it doesn't take away anything from us, and it doesn't make us any less of a person or deserving of love. So, whether people have something to say about you, whether you don't think you fit the beauty standard in general, don't be comparing yourself to people on social medias. Comparison is a thief of joy. So, yeah, but I think it was very important to cover that social media part, because that's the new way the beauty standard is being set and is being propagated throughout the world. Okay, so the next part, of course, after we talked about the growing access to the internet, was what the beauty standard looks like. And I've not received anybody who was like, okay, this is completely wrong. But I think everybody would agree that beauty standards look different in every area of the world. But today is becoming more and more homogenous, or more ambiguous, and more one way of look throughout the world. There's still a media representation, and then there's different subcultures. But at the end of the day, we still have to take that information and do with it what we can, and say, okay, why is it this? And a lot of them, even though the subcultures might look different, when you compare them, there's still some similarities that pull them all together, right? Okay, so I mostly focused on the few that I could research and have research on that I think we could all, for the most part, agree with, which was thinness, um, whiteness or close to whiteness, as well as straight hair, preferably blonde, and then I think medium butt, busts, lips, all of those. But if you have any thoughts on that, and if you think that that's not the beauty standard anymore, feel free to share. I know that now that drug Ozempic, can you see it on YouTube? I think so. Ozempic has become very popular again. People are moving away from the body positivity movement, and a lot of celebrities used to be almost icons, should I say, of the body positivity movement, have tried to now distance themselves from it. Everybody wants to be skinny again, or at least not fat. Now that there is a way that they can not be that, they find like it's more possible to realize their dream of not being on the bigger side. And I think it's somebody's preferable. It's somebody's preference what kind of size they want to be, but I just don't like the fact that some people use the movement for their self-esteem and their self-confidence when they felt like, oh, this can help me. And then they dump it to move on to something else. On the other hand, I've never really agreed a lot with the body positivity movement. I think I'll go into that and the many, many reasons why in the future. And no, it's not just because of what people say. I just think there's several barriers and several things that are just not well thought out, it seems, about them. But it's okay. It's okay. Okay, so let's move on to the next section, which I talked about the subculture of beauty, like I'll say, and I went into a little bit about the bleaching. And that is one of the saddest things that personally, like, it really hurts me because I know how it affects, like, Ghana, especially, and a lot of African countries, that even in poverty, people would take money that they can use to do other things and put that on bleaching creams. Imagine like not being able to feed your family, but being able to buy bleaching creams or bleaching pills. And it's all over the world. I think sometimes people keep quiet. They don't know how prevalent it is, or they want to ignore how prevalent it is. But it's a big issue. And there is no reason why we should downgrade what a problem it is. It's 2024, but colorism is still well and alive. And I know as in the Korean beauty space, I do try to stay away from some of the Korean products because from my research, not all of them, but some of them do have like whitening and brightening ingredients in it. And I personally don't feel too confident about a lot of them. So because of that, I do end up staying away just to be on the safe side, just to be on the safe side because I'd rather I'd rather just not bother with it than to inadvertently do it. And I know sometimes people get into it that way and then they see those results like, oh my God, like let me do that to my whole body. And there've also been people who have talked about being young and their parents, taking out this bleaching on their skin, which is unfortunately very true in a lot of African countries and Asian countries because the parents think that they're giving them a better chance, not realizing they're also damaging consequences that can come out of it. But people do it for a reason, and I don't want to make it a black and white issue. I wanted to I wanted this to present in a way that we understand the nuances as to why somebody would choose to take such drastic actions. And it's not because some of them are just vain. We can't say that. We can't just say, okay, somebody's just vain. They just want to look a certain way. A lot of times it's more than that. It's economic. It's an economic reason. It's something about feeding their family, being able to get a job. Hearing people talk about how they're educated, but they can't get a job in their field because of the way they look. People think they're too dark. People think that they don't have the beauty standard that is needed to carry on the job, even though they're qualified professionally for that position. So when people choose to make such decisions, it's not an easy decision to make. And we have to have a level of empathy for them as well. And I hope that came through in the video because I know it's easy to say, oh, people are just vain, people just want to do this, so they go ahead and bleach the skin, or even with a lot of the plastic surgery stuff. Some of them, they feel like, okay, this is the last result. And I didn't want to go too deeply into every one of them because the video is already 50 minutes. By the way, I cut it down from almost 2 hours. So it was a lot of content. But I wanted to show that side, that reward side that we'll get into, because there is a reward to this, even though it's so expensive to get into it and it's so expensive to maintain. And if you just joined, be sure to like this video so that we can just push up in the algorithm or something. But yeah, this video will be up so people can watch at a later time. Okay, so now that we did talk about the subculture of beauty, and I know beauty, the beauty standard looks different in many places, but there is a common thread after them. So attaining and maintaining the beauty standard was the next section. And that was very important. That's where the financial piece comes in. When the first video you watched before you even started a video about just maintenance, the cost of maintenance is so much. And sometimes we don't realize it. There's obviously the cost of basic hygiene, which I think everybody should have. Yes. And I think it's really important to have basic hygiene. But beyond that, you see overconsumption where girls have so much makeup, so much products upon products. And it's like you become a product junkie, because attaining is a lot, but also maintaining that beauty standard is so much. And part of maintenance is a lot of products, but the attaining is products, but also plastic surgery. And plastic surgery, a lot of it is for aesthetic reasons. Now, we used not to be that way. And I did have a part I wanted to add about one of the most popular plastic surgery, which is the breast augmentation. So with that, it's not just for aesthetic purposes. I think one of the reasons why it's a growing trend is not just because women are objectified and a lot of them feel like they should go towards that route and to get bigger boobs if they don't have as big, or they don't have any, because they're flat chested. But another group of women that we must not forget are women who have unfortunately undergone surgery for breast cancer, or women who are at risk of breast cancer. So they're advised to take out their breasts. It's very sad, and I'm sure it's a very hard decision. But once they do it, a lot of them, especially if you've never been flat chested, it's really hard to decide that, okay, this is going to be my life from now. So a lot of them do opt to get fake boobs, or do a breast augmentation. And because it's not like a nose job where it's like one and done, or maybe people do like 1 or 2 nose jobs, or maybe 3, like that's a bit excessive. With the breast augmentation, you have to get them redone every 7 to 10 years, I think. So because of that, it is always going to be a woman who is at some point going to get another breast augmentation. So the average woman, if she gets her breast done at like 25 or 35, let's say 35, to accumulate for the aesthetics and the breast cancer, but you're going to have to get them done at 45, 55, and you maybe want to get them done at like 65, right? So at least 3 times, right? 35, 35, 45, 55, 65. Well, actually 4 times, because the initial time was 35. But now women are getting them done earlier. Like there are a lot of young people doing this before their bodies even fully developed, fully grown, fully past puberty. So they get them done like in their early 20s. So then they're gonna have to redo it in their, so they're doing the initial, then early 30s, early 40s, early 50s, and you're gonna care how much what you look like in your early 60s as well. So they're going through it for like 5 times. No wonder the breast augmentation is one of the most popular surgery. I think it's actually the most popular plastic surgery, because at some point you're going to get it multiple times. It never ends. It never ends. Okay, so that was one. We did talk about the nose job, lip implant, facelift. And the cost of facelift can also be so ridiculous. We've seen like surgeries on celebrities, and you're like, oh, this young celebrity has a facelift. Like facelift has gone up so much because of young celebrities having them for aesthetic purposes. The ponytail facelift, which from my research lifts like from here to like your cheek area, and they just lift it all the way up at a young age. It's for aesthetics, not for an actual facelift. Wow. Like all of these, like I didn't want to go again too deeply into it, but once you start researching it, you ask yourself, where is this world going? But my focus was on the financial part because these cost a lot of money. And if unfortunately you have some sort of complication, which the BBL surgery is actually the most dangerous surgery in the world, plastic surgery in the world, you can die. Oh, I don't think YouTube likes that, right? You can be unalived. Oh my God, I'm still new to YouTube. Let me see, maybe if I can turn that out. You can be unalived during that procedure. It's so bad. Like can you imagine putting your life on the line for that? All these other surgeries also carry inherent risk, but that surgery is one of the most dangerous surgeries. Very dangerous. And you can be unalived in any of these surgeries, but especially the BBL. So it's a finance topic, but it's also just a behavioral topic and a social topic, a social commentary that we need to talk about, we need to discuss, and we need to share with people like, hey, these are the risks. Are you willing to really, risk not being here for the opportunity of possibly getting a bigger butt? That may or may not even look that good, right? So that is some of the decisions that people make. We talked about the Snapchat dysmorphia. People are taking their Snapchat filters and now just like TikTok filters and any filters that it can have and taking it to the plastic surgeon. Be like, hey, look, this is what I want to look like. I want to look like my eyes, being all wide when I put the filter on because that's like cute. We're really blurring our virtual reality and our real world into one, and it's not a good mix, you all. It's not a good mix. Okay. Next one, after we talked about that, was just talking about celebrity brands. It's a lot, right? A lot of celebrity brands. So I personally have not been following or buying into a lot of celebrity brands. When I was younger, I did get a few like celebrity perfumes. I think I got like Katy Perry for my best friend, and then a Mariah Carey one from like my parents. So those are the two celebrity products, and I have like Mariah Carey's books. Like I did like a home tour, so I have like her book right there on my shelf. But when it comes to celebrity beauty brand products, I recently actually just got into my first one, which was Fenty Beauty by Rihanna. I was looking for foundation that matched. I went to Ulta, I think, and the one of the sales people matched it for me. I don't think she did a good job, honestly, with the matching because why is the shade that I got early summer when I really wasn't outside darker than my skin tone at the end of summer when I'm like way more outside than I ever was? I'm still wondering why. Anyway, and the concealer that I got was darker than my foundation. When has a concealer been darker than foundation? And I guess she was trying to match the concealer to my foundation, but that does not make sense. This concealer is supposed to be lighter than foundation. Tell me if I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe she did a great job, but she gave me a concealer that was darker than my foundation. I feel like I'm being the gaslit, but it's okay. It's okay. That's not the topic at hand. The topic at hand is about all these celebrity brands and how they are taking over. There's so many of them, so many. Every few business days, a new celebrity launches something, and it's not even something that they're known for, you know. And I guess a lot more doing hair care brands as well. But I wonder what they're going to go into next because the beauty field is definitely oversaturated and is so expensive, you all. That's the main topic about this. All these celebrity brands are trying to sell you products upon products upon products. And makeup, one of the best things about makeup is that makeup typically lasts a long time. Like buy a mascara and you'll probably end up having it dried out before the product runs out. If you're buying a palette, how many palettes do you need? A palette will last you like years. I still have the first palette I ever bought several years ago, and it still works. But you see a lot of people with so many beauty products and makeup, and those things do expire, right? That's my thought process. Like, why do you have so many? These things expire. They do. But beyond that, a lot of people don't even just go through all the products that they have, all of it. And I think for me, that has been my plan for the future, to be able to use all of my products before I buy new ones, because it's very expensive. But the reason why that people move on quickly and buy more products is because of microtrends. With the beauty standard of today, it's not a specific thing for too long, right? A new aesthetic comes out every few business weeks. So it's like, okay, you buy this, like let's say Sabrina Carpenter's espresso makeup. And so you buy the palettes and the different blushes and makeup that they say goes with it. And then a few months later, you're gonna have some sort of fall themed makeup. Maybe, I don't know, Sad Girl Winter is gonna come out, or Christian Girl Winter, and then they're gonna be like, well, this is what goes with it, or the iced latte makeup. We had the Clean Girl Aesthetics, which came with its own set of beauty products. So all of these are expensive, but also the overconsumption of it all, because a lot of these products, people don't use it entirely before moving on. And if we're talking about the economic crisis, how expensive it is to live, how some people can't even afford groceries, yet makeup is always sold out. Yet, we have an abundance of like overconsumption on unnecessary things. People who are prioritizing getting their hair done, nails done, everything done before they save and before they even buy food. Like, how many videos do I watch of people like, oh yeah, it's so expensive. Like, I've just like been able to get through paying my bills, but I have credit card debt, blah, blah, blah. And then they have like the longest acrylic nails that they went to get them done. They have like a fresh hairstyle. They have like clothes, and they're complaining about the economy. And I'm not saying you can't, but priorities, But a lot of people see these as needs rather than wants and accessories. So because of that, a lot of people fall into financial destitute. Okay, so the next thing is, after you maintaining and attain and maintain the beauty standard, is going into new insecurities. And I'm not on TikTok. I've never been, and at this rate, I'll probably never join. But you all, why? Why is that? Why do those micro trends come up all the time of just the most ridiculous things I've ever seen? In the video, I was talking about people who spray their faces and then to see the non-existent hair to shave, the dermaplaning. And I heard like dermaplaning can be so bad for you. I saw a video of a girl who did it, and she's a beautiful skin. Her skin suffered a reaction. And yeah, now she has to go to a dermatologist. Now she has to get new products to try to fix it and go back to her original skin, what her skin looked like, because she didn't know that. She didn't know that this was going to basically destroy her skin. A lot of us don't know all of the results. So before you do anything like that, I would implore you to please do your research and don't jump on any micro trends. And just because somebody points out some sort of insecurity, if you're not insecure about it, don't let that make you feel insecure about it. And if you do have insecurities, start working on it so that you can not have them anymore. I know it's hard to say, but I'm human too, so I can relate. And it is a journey. It's a journey that we'll probably be going through our entire lives, because as you just accept yourself now, you're evolving, right? So you're going to have new insecurities come up. A lot of women, as we age, ageism, you face ageism. So yeah. And by the way, one more thing on this. Ageism is one of the most stupidest discriminatory categories out there, right? Because if you live long enough, if you're lucky to live long enough, you will age. And hopefully you would hope people are not calling you some sort of, old person, derogatory language. But the fact that people make fun of older people, like as if that they will probably not be there in a few years, well, maybe not in a few years, but sooner rather than later, right? They'll be there, or they would have passed, so they wouldn't have had the privilege to live such a long life. Now, do I think that there are several reasons why? Sure. And we can discuss that in another video. But to make fun of an old person for being old, they were young before. They've been young before, just as you were young. And one day they're gonna be old. You're gonna be older, just as they were older. If you have the opportunity to live long enough. Okay, let's move on. Try not to be on here for way too long. So after we talked about that, we talked about the rewards. Yes, there are a lot of rewards, pretty privilege, beauty, just opening doors for certain people, especially now that the beauty space is there's a gold mine for a lot of people, right? And if people find you attractive, they're more likely to follow you, to subscribe to your YouTube channel, to support whatever products that you drop. And we can admit that there's some celebrities who are obviously very popular, mostly for their beauty. Mostly for their beauty. Okay, so after that, we have to really recognize this privilege because we have to know why people are doing this, right? Some of them are not just doing it because it's fun. Some of them are not just wasting all this money just because they feel like it. There's a lot of reasons why. So let's extend some level of empathy and not be too harsh on people. Let's get to understand them. And I think we can find a common ground. Okay, so I'm just going to put in the chat, like, comment, and subscribe. Subscribe. Okay, let me not sing again. Okay, so after we look at the rewards, we are going into beauty in our childhood. And I really wanted to add this part because I know I cannot be the only one who watched so many Disney fairy tales and so many Disney shows in general and Disney princess movies growing up. I love them. Okay, I love them. One of my favorite was Ariel. I'll say out of all of the Disney princesses, I think my favorite in general is Ariel. Yeah, Ariel is definitely my favorite princess. I thought she was so beautiful, with the red hair and the big eyes and stuff. But it makes me wonder if she wasn't that beautiful, would they have even taken her to the castle? Would she have made it to the castle if she wasn't that beautiful? Let's really delve into that, right? She would have probably ended up in an orphanage somewhere else in the poor side of town. Okay, so yeah, that's just my 2 cents on this issue. I'm not saying that we should not have those as children or like, oh, if I had kids, I would not let them watch it. I don't think so. I think it's everything in moderation and explaining that and making sure that, as they grow up, they also understand the different sides of beauty and knowing that, okay, we are all given some sort of beauty or different types of beauty by God. And if He found our beauty to be good and perfect, who is somebody else to say that it is not? Right. And that's why in the video I did talk about how, God has made us complete. We're complete works of God. And for me, I'm happy with that. Okay. Next thing we talked about is a relationship aspect. And I'm really curious to hear what you say about this part. I don't think I had too much to say only because of just even the research. I mean, there was a lot of research, but in that aspect, like it was very long. I did not want to to put too much into it. Like I said, filming the video alone, it was about 2 hours long for the filming, so I had to cut out a lot of parts. But it still stands true, and I really want to hear what your thoughts are on that and what you think that would look like in the future. And to combat it, of course, I gave different ideas and into the conclusion. This was also an allegory for Frankenstein's monster. I don't know how I connected those two, but I think that one day I was just thinking about, I'm like, wow, like we are kind of like or some people, not me, not you, if you've not, obviously had plastic surgery or, a bunch of cosmetic procedures. But people are basically becoming like a patchwork of whatever the doctors see, becoming Frankenstein's monster in a way. And it doesn't mean they're not beautiful. It's just like so many faces from different ethnicities and body shapes and just adding it all together. And to what end? To what end? Like, when would you stop chasing the beauty standard if not today? Right? Not only does that affect your mental health, it affects your wallet. It makes you a walking billboard for the plastic surgery and for all of the products that you're using, or most of them, at least the visible ones. And what are we going to do? And what are we going to say to the younger generation as they grow up, as they delve in their insecurities and as they work through their insecurities to become who they want to be? What are we going to tell them? How are we going to tell them? And how are we going to mentor them through it? Because it's only getting worse. Like now, when I see videos of people in middle school and high school, I'm like, wow, this is high school? I cannot believe it. So, how are we going to mentor them for a better future? If you have any ideas, be sure to leave them in the comment section below here. Watch the original video if you haven't already. I really want to hear your thought process on this, and also be sure to share that video. I worked really hard on it, and I'm hoping it reaches a good number of people. And I think it was well done. I'll say I think it was well done. And yeah, I'm just waiting for your feedback on it, and we can turn the comment section into a discussion of what is going on and how we can resolve it. And in the future, I plan on delving more into different aspects of it, keeping a conversation going of where's our money going in this economically challenging times. Where is our money going? Where are the places that we can cut back? Where are the places that we're being taken advantage of, that we can say, you know what, enough is enough. Enough is enough. We don't want to participate in this anymore. And yeah, once we get there, we'll cross that bridge. But thank you all so much for joining. Again, like I said, go watch the original video if you haven't already. The link is in the chat. I look forward to hearing all of your comments on the beauty standards today. What is going on? Be sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and like that video too, and comment on it when you go watch it. And just what is going on? What do you see as the future? What's the future path forward? Because it seems to be getting worse and worse, and people are getting these surgeries younger and younger, going into debt to get these surgeries. I don't even think I even went into that part, but that's actually gives me an idea for a future video. Let me know what you think about that video. It's like going into debt for plastic surgery. Yeah, let me write that video idea down, because there is a big group of people who are going into debt for plastic surgery, beauty and plastic surgery. Because it's in this video, we just discussed the cost of certain big ticket items and hair care, makeup costs, facial products costs. But there is a big and growing group of people. I think there's some sort of credit cards that were introduced that people can put plastic surgery on, and a lot of them are using it. So where do you see the world going from here? Do you think that as people talk about economically more challenged times, they will start to prioritize their needs and savings over less things, things that are not as important? I know last week when I came on here to do a live, we talked about affordable luxuries, and I saw a lot of you watch the videos. Thank you all so much. It hit like 1,000 views in like 4 days, I think. So thank you all so much. If you haven't seen that video, go watch it as well. Share it with people that you think will be helpful towards. I appreciate that always. But what is happening? What is happening with so much overconsumption in plastic surgery, in cosmetic procedures, in beauty and hair care, in affordable luxuries, in everything, for an economy that people are complaining over and over again. It's things are expensive. We can't. It's so much overconsumption going on, and I wonder why. And we can't just say, "Oh, it's the rich people, it's the people in higher middle class." No, all of us are overconsuming in some way, shape, or form. All of us are participating. There's a small minority of people who maybe are not, but there are a lot of people who are, and more videos will come to you. Next week's video, I'm very excited about. I'm very excited about next week's video. I worked very hard on it. Like I said, so it's going to be almost an hour long video, but it's going to be very interesting. And I hope that you like the video. I hope that it gives you um, some value into your life. But look forward towards that. Like I said, I post video every single Friday, 4 p.m. Eastern time, 5 p.m. Dallas. I think Dallas is Central Time. So look forward to that. And I also post a short every single Tuesday on my YouTube channel. And I post a reel on my Instagram page. Hopefully, if you don't have my Instagram page for my essential patients, I'm going to put it in the chat so you can see it. If you're interested in following me, I post short form content over there. And yeah, I think that's basically it. I also put some quotes, some verses of the day there. So yeah, I typically do 2 to 3 times per week. Go check it out, follow, like, and let's stay connected and keep this conversation going. Again, we're discussing is beauty, pain, and financial destitute. The video link is in the chat. I also posted the live video last week of affordable luxuries, but I can post that video again. Let me see, so you don't have to go look for it. But it was a really good video. It did well. I got a lot of good feedback from it. So here is the link. Okay, yes, that is it. And so be sure to go watch it. Let me know how you like it, and we will keep this conversation going. So with that, I am bringing this video to an end. Like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Watch the video, share it with people that you think will be helpful to, or share it with anybody. I think it'll be helpful towards a lot of people. Like I said, I worked really hard on the video. It's about 50 minutes, but it's good conversation. Probably one by before you know it, you probably can play in the background and you hear all the good information. But if you also want to watch it, watch it. I think the visuals are very nice, very nice. So yeah, I'm working very hard on b-rolls and making my videos very engaging when it comes to the visual look. I'm still finding my footing, but I think I'm doing well so far. So thank you all again, and yeah, be sure to hit the thumbs up before you leave. Okay, well, I may do one more live for next month, but no promises, no promises. I'm gonna be very busy, but I think I'll do one for next month, and then you'll probably see me more in November because I have something exciting going on, and hopefully I will be sharing late October, early November, or you can follow me on my Instagram and you will see it going on. I say we'll see. We'll see. Don't want to share too much. Okay. Thank you all again. And I will see you in my next video. Have a good night. Stay blessed. Stay safe. See you soon. Bye.